Welcome to In Conversation with MANWAR podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Do Not Be a Bystander campaign. You can join us in raising awareness about bullying by visiting the donotbeabystander.com, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay informed about upcoming episodes. Today's participants are Tausif, Mihrab, Sidekwa, and Oroko. Our special guest for today is Soma Khan.
Yes, I am your host, MANWAR Khan. Today I'm joined by four young individuals who are ready to share their thoughts and insights on the topic here. So, can someone tell me what is our topic today?
Our topic is about leadership.
Excellent. So, leadership, can this be learned or it's just a trait? It's a by born. There are some leaders by born, or it can be learned too.
Yes, it can.
Great answer. That's all I wanted to know. That we are all on the same page. Just one thing I want to mention: when somebody talks, please others mute their microphone. Otherwise, I think there is a echo. So you're right. We will be talking on the topic of leadership, and you all have the same goal: eliminating bullying, school, and in the communities. These young individuals are very much passionate about addressing issues of bullying and willing to empower others. Today's participants are Tausif, Mehrab, Siddiqa, and Orko. Before we continue, I would like to introduce our special guest today's podcast, Soma Khan. Soma will shed some lights on this topic of leadership. I would like to talk a little bit about Soma. Soma is a dedicated public servant with 6 years of experience with Government of Alberta. Her true passion lies in the personal development, particularly in assisting children to achieve their goals. She is deeply committed to making a positive impact in their life. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Soma, for joining here today. Now that we have introduced our participants and guests, let's get started with our question. My first question goes to Tausif. So we know what leadership it is, but I want to hear it from you. So my question for you is, what does leadership mean to you? And can anyone be leader, or there are certain qualities necessary to be an effective leader?
To me, leadership is the ability to inspire and guide and influence towards other people, and it should have a common goal or vision. And it involves taking responsibility and making tough decisions, and also being a role model for others. Effective leaders should have some qualities in them. For example, like vision, communication, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. Or like a leader should have a vision to see the future and be able to communicate with others effectively. And a leader should also have communication skills to be an effective leader, so that they can communicate with others about their lifestyle or future, or they can advise them in their difficult situations. And they should also have an ability or a adaptability, ability to adapt things fast. Like for example, a leaders requires mm, leaders often require some navigating skills to get out of challenges and uncertainty. Leaders should always be flexible and willing to learn something new. And they should also have that emotional intelligence, which involves someone's emotion, should care about someone's emotion. That's it.
Thank you, Tausif. That was a great answer. My next question is for Mehrab. So there are some qualities every leaders have. So what are some important qualities do you think a good leader should have it?
Okay. Basically, a leader plays a crucial role within a team or an organization. And to always excel in those, a good leader should always possess these important qualities. Most importantly, as I will say, as Tausif also mentioned, is strong communication skills. As we all hear, communication is key. It allows the leaders to convey their visions clearly and inspire, and also inspire and motivate others to do the task the most efficient way. Secondly, a leader should be empathetic to their team members by fostering a supportive environment which will enable the members to propose creative ideas, you know, and overall make sure their needs and concerns are given to them, and their concerns are taken care of. You know, what this does is boosts the morale and encourages their best performances. Additionally, leaders act as mentors, guiding and developing the team members' skills and abilities to maximize efficiency. A good leader should always be adaptable, face challenges, and make critical decisions fast, but be able to analyze them properly within that short period of time they get to do so. To conclude, a good leader is one that sets high standards, displays integrity, is confident, and most importantly, inspires others to do the same. He or she is a person that everyone trusts and everyone respects. That's what a good leader is to me.
I was waiting for the last keyword, that trust.
Which is yes, trust. Yeah.
If I'm your leader, if I'm telling you cross the bridge, but we don't know what is on the other side of the bridge, it doesn't matter whether I'm your leader or not, good leader or not. Will you cross the bridge if you do not trust me?
Nope.
So that's the keyword I was looking for, but you did end up saying that. Thank you so much. That was a great answer. Trust is the first thing that you have to have trust of your people. Followers, they follow you. You have to have that trust. You have to have, you saying, Mera mentioned that the key is the communication. You trust them, you communicate with them. You cannot um, cross the bridge if the build is not already built. The bridge of trust is the most important thing to be a leader and to make people follow you. Right? Great answer. Thank you so much. My next question is for Siddika. How can you show leadership in everyday life?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start by saying that showing leadership in everyday life doesn't necessarily mean holding a formal leadership position. Leadership can be demonstrated through your actions, attitude, and the way you interact with others. What this means is that leadership is more about an activity that one engages in rather than possessing a formal role or title. As leadership is really a process of helping to move towards a common goal or outcome collectively. Now, moving forward to the question, how can we show leadership in your everyday life? Well, there are certainly a good deal of ways to show leadership in everyday life, but there are some points which I would love to highlight here. Firstly, lead by example. Display the qualities that you expect from others and the values that you believe in. Act with integrity, honesty, and respect, and strive for excellence in everything you do. When others see your commitment and dedication, they're more likely to follow suit. It is kind of like the saying, treat people the way you want to be treated. Second, take the initiative. Identify opportunities to take the lead and be proactive. Look for opportunities to take the lead and contribute, whether it's at work, school, or even at your home. Now, how do you do that? Well, you can volunteer for tasks, propose new ideas, or step up when there's a need for action. Do not wait for others to take the first step. Always take the initiative. And a key to practicing leadership in your everyday life is by setting goals and inspiring others. Establish clear goals for yourself and inspire others to pursue their own aspirations. Motivate and encourage others to reach their full potential by providing guidance, encouragement, and resources. Now, an important skill to practice leadership in your everyday life is to communicate effectively. Because as MANWAR started to say, we have to communicate properly and trust the other to build that bridge. Now, so to do that, we need to develop strong communication skills to articulate your ideas clearly and listen actively to others. Encourage open dialogue, value different perspectives, and create an inclusive environment where everyone feels heard, understood, and comfortable enough contributing their ideas. When people feel valued and included, they're more motivated to work towards common goals. Additionally, to create an environment like that, you can inspire and motivate. Encourage and uplift others through positive reinforcement, recognition, and genuine support. Help people realize that their strengths and capabilities are important and provide guidance to help them overcome challenges. Invest in growth and development of those around you. Share your knowledge, skills, and provide constructive feedback and mentorship when needed. Empower others to take on new responsibilities because a true leader helps others succeed. Moreover, as Meher previously mentioned, you can embrace challenges and innovation. Demonstrate a willingness to step out of your comfort zone and embrace change. Encourage creativity, problem solving, and experimentation. Inspire others to take calculated risks, learn from failures, and continuously improve. Furthermore, take responsibilities. Own up your mistakes and learn from them. Instead of blaming others and focus, instead of blaming others, focus on finding solutions and taking the necessary steps to rectify issues. Lastly, make decisions. Take responsibility for making decisions even in uncertain situations. Gather information, analyze options, and consider potential impact of your choices. Be decisive and accountable for the outcomes. Remember, leadership is not about a title or position. It is a mindset and a set of behaviors. Anyone can demonstrate leadership in their everyday life by embodying these qualities and taking action. Thank you.
Great answer. You actually covered everything. I don't know if I should be asking any other questions to anybody, but you already answered everything. Orko, I still have a question for you. So my question for you is, what are some common challenges that leaders face, and how can they overcome those in real life?
Well, the
In your
first question is that what are the common challenges that leaders face? So leadership is the complete basis of leadership is based on confidence, like being assertive, being confident, and being able to lead people through your program or your anything that you're helping people through. And the challenges that leaders might face are difficult people, pressure, letting someone go, or delivering bad news, staying motivated, and maybe other cultural issues might be there as well. Now, answering the second part of the question, how can they overcome them? So overcoming difficult people, the first point is that there are going to be people in your team or in your organization, or let's say in your program or your podcast, and they're going to be difficult to deal with, as in they're going to have difficult problems, they're going to have difficult questions that you have to answer, and you have to be really articulate in your way of thinking. You have to be confidently answering all of them, and you have to be confident in your answers and having a basis of answering them. And you have to have like being a good leader, you have to have grace, and you have to show kindness to people, and you have to be patient as well. And thus those are the things that will help you to like deal with difficult people. And the second point, pressure. Pressure is it comes from work environments, and just any people are also contributors to the pressure that leaders face. And there are also certain benefits in pressure, because it really grounds you into the leadership basis. And so dealing with pressure is that you have to have a great organization system. You have to be good at managing things, and that's gonna eliminate some of the pressure that you face, or it's gonna make easier to deal with problems or deal with difficult people and your day-to-day problems. And the third point that I had was letting someone go. And as a leader, it is going to be difficult to let someone go, let someone close to you, or someone that you've been helping through your whole career, or something like that. And letting people go is going to be difficult, because there are attachments, emotional attachments, and just connected to the leadership, and you're gonna feel that. But letting someone go it plays a basic part in being a good leader, because it separates you from your emotions and what you really value as a leader, and that's gonna really set that bar for you as a leader. And the fourth point was the delivering bad news. And bad news is something that is really difficult to deliver to people, because it really creates this dissonance in people, in a large group of people. There are going to be disagreements, there are going to be emotional outbursts, and to counter that, you have to have this this patience, right? This patience and this grace that you have to have inside you to like endure these emotional outbursts or these problems that are going to come through with delivering bad news. And the fifth point was staying motivated. So leadership, being a leader, it can get really tiring, can get really exhausting, because there are so many things to manage, so many organizations to be done, and helping so many people through, and you have to always be working. This, it really gets tiring, right? So as a leader, you should always uh, practice meditation, and practicing patience, practicing virtue, and just finding little things inspiring, and being like looking at other people deeply enough to, so that they can provoke some kind of enthusiasm in you, or um, inspire you in some ways, and that will help you to stay motivated. And my final point was culture issues. So culture issues, it is really difficult to work with, because cultures differ from one another, and um, you have to work yourself through, and you have to communicate, you have to understand the differences, and you cannot be undermining other cultures, and you have to really how do I say this? It's gonna be like an amalgamation of other cultures, and you have to understand the differences. And
Like you
I hope,
basically you're trying to say the diversity here.
yeah. So I'm talking about the diversity, and it's all about that, really, that improvisation, that being able to help many set of different people all together while being yourself, and that's gonna help your leadership as well, because now you're able to deal with many different people, and that's gonna help you get over this culture issue. And finally, I would like to say that to overcome these problems with leadership, the main basis is to be very the main basis actually is confidence, and being the best version of yourself is gonna be the the grounding to the best of your leadership, the best of what you can give to other people, and that's gonna bring out the best of you. That was my
All right, excellent, wonderful answers. I heard so many great answers today. So now we have come to the end of this podcast. The final segment is our guest. I would like to welcome Soma to say a few words, uh, give your insights, please, and any tips and advice you have for them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manwar, for having me today. I think like the participants' answers were like super great. It's not just great, super great, and they have covered pretty much everything. The only thing I would like to add is that like we all are different as individuals, and it's obvious that not everybody is born a leader, but I believe that anyone can become one with the right training and experience, right? So once you are a leader, we want to stay a leader, right? So how do we do that? It's continuous learning. Like stay curious and committed to continuous learning, seek out opportunities to expand your knowledge, and keep developing new skills.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add, Soma?
I just want to thank the participants for their insights. I think they did a great job. Like it's wonderful to
Yeah,
see young minds thinking so deeply, right, about these kind of topics that we hardly discuss.
exactly. No, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much, Soma.
Yep.
Um, so I would like to thank our participants and our guests for joining this podcast today. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Before we wrap up, I would like to remind our listeners that there are several resources available for individuals who deal with bullying. Government of Alberta has a bullying helpline, which provides support and advice to those experiencing bullying, and that helpline can be reached at 1-888-456-2323. Bullying is a violation of human rights. Under no circumstances is bullying acceptable. As a community, we have our shared responsibility to take a stand against bullying and refuse to be bystander. Thank you for joining in conversation with Manwar Khan, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
Thank you for having us.